In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the first 10 things that you should do on your Samsung Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. So you finally got your brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab A11 Plus and you just unboxed it. Here are the first 10 things you guys should probably look into doing before you start using your tablet. Alright everyone, the first one is going to be navigation buttons. And to go ahead and change those or customize those, we're going to go into settings right here. So go ahead and click on settings. Then we're going to scroll down to display and click on display. After that, we're going to go ahead and scroll down until we see something called navigation bar. Then go ahead and click on that. Of course, we have two different options right here. We have buttons and of course we have swipe gestures. So if you guys want to use the newer updated style of navigation, go ahead and click on swipe gestures. And then if you guys want to use buttons, go ahead and click on buttons. And under that, we actually have something called more options if you guys would like to customize this further. So go ahead and click on that and we can actually choose the button order. So since I like the back on the right side and the recents on the left side, I usually choose this one. You guys can also choose the second option where it flips it, and you guys can also choose the button position to either the right or left side when it is flipped vertically. Next thing you should do is pick a notification pop-up style. So to go ahead and do that, we go into settings once again. We're going to go ahead and scroll down to where it says notifications right there. You're going to go ahead and click on that. And of course, we have something called notification pop-up style right here. So go ahead and click on that once you've found it. And once we're in here, we have a couple different options. It says choose how notifications will pop up on the screen when you receive them. The first one is going to give you a brief description of what your notification is. And of course, your second one is going to be a lot more detailed. You can also change the appearance of each app's notification pop-ups and the app's notification settings. So first and foremost, choose which one you want more. If you want to be a little bit more private, keep it brief. If you want to be a little bit more detailed and don't care about your privacy, obviously have it more detailed. But the thing that I want to show you right here is actually called add lighting effects. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. This is really, really cool. So as you guys can see, we have our notification that pops up right here. And that is where your notifications are going to pop up. But you can actually choose the style of your notifications. So we have fireworks. Gives us a little fireworks. We have the eclipse. That gives us a nice little eclipse every time we get a text or a email or something. We have our echo, which shows up on the sides. And of course, we have spotlight right here as well. And you guys can also change the color of each of these notifications, and you guys can change the transparency and the duration of these as well, depending on if you want them short or longer. Next thing you should go ahead and do is change the motion smoothness and of course the screen timeout. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to getting a new device. So what we're going to do is go into settings and we're going to scroll down to display. Go ahead and click on display, and the first thing we have right here is motion smoothness. So to ensure you guys have it on the smoothest animation, make sure you click adaptive, and that's going to give you the full 90 hertz refresh rate. If you do want to save a little bit more battery, you can have it on 60 hertz, and once you have that, click apply, and that's going to give you a longer battery life right there. However, I like adaptive, so we're going to keep it on that right there. And the other thing I would stress you guys to do is go ahead and change your screen timeout, because if you don't, it's going to turn off every 30 seconds. And we have the options all the way from 15 seconds to 30 minutes. I hate when the screen turns off on its own, so I keep it on about 30 minutes. We also have a cool feature right here that basically lets you keep the screen on while you're looking at it, so it detects your face through the camera, and you guys can go ahead and turn that on if you would like to use that. Next thing is going to be in the settings as well, and this is going to be basically protecting your battery. So we're going to go into settings right here. We're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down until we get battery. So once we get battery, go ahead and click on that. Once we're inside of the battery section, we have something called battery protection. As you guys can see, I do have it on basic, but we have multiple different options. It says keeping your battery at a full 100% charge for a long time can reduce its lifespan. Choose an option below to protect your battery and make it last longer. So of course, our basic is when your battery is charged to 100%, charging will stop until the battery level drops down to 95%, and then charging will start again. We also have the maximum mode right here, and it says charging will stop at a level you set. The lower the level, the more you can extend the battery's lifespan. So if we go ahead and click on maximum, we can actually go from 80% all the way up to 95%. And we also have adaptive protection, which is the most extreme way of basically keeping your battery safe over time, so no battery degrading happens. And that lets you stop charging at 80% while you're asleep and finishes charging to 100% just before you wake up. So you kind of have to set like a little timer with this, as you guys can see. So you have to turn on sleep services and all that stuff. So really, really cool feature right there. Definitely one of the #1 features you should check out once you get your tablet. Our next feature is going to be in the settings as well, and we're going to have something called Palm. So go ahead and type in Palm Swipe Capture. So it's called Palm Swipe Capture. I already turned this on. And if we go ahead and click on this, it gives you a little bit of a tutorial on how to use it. It basically says swipe the edge of your hand across the screen to take a screenshot. So you are going to actually have to touch your tablet to go ahead and perform this screenshot. And this is the easiest way to actually perform a screenshot. It's one of my favorite ways as well. All you have to do is we're going to glide it against the tablet like that. And we're going to take a screenshot right now. So I'll show you how it works. 3, 2, 1. And as you guys see, it took a screenshot right there. You guys can go ahead and edit it or share it or do whatever else you want with it. All right, everyone. So the next thing I urge first-time users of this tablet to do is actually go ahead and turn on your RAM Plus option. So go into settings right here, and we actually have something called RAM Plus. So we're going to go ahead and type that in. We're going to type in RAM Plus, and it's going to be under device care. If you guys want to go ahead and find it for yourself, go ahead and click on that. It's basically going to go ahead and check your memory for any residual storage, but we have something down here right under excluded apps, and it's called RAM Plus. Now by default, it's going to be set to 4 gigabytes. And what this does is it basically uses your tablet storage to provide a virtual memory. So it says choose more virtual memory to allow more apps to stay open in the background, choose less virtual memory to keep more storage space free. So if you guys want to have a quicker, more optimized experience on here, definitely turn on 6 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I do preface this to say, you do have to restart the tablet to actually go ahead and ensure that you're using 6 gigabytes of RAM now instead of 4, or 2 instead of 4 if you want that option. But yeah, pretty cool feature right there to keep more windows open. So if you guys need that type of random access memory, really, really cool to see that we have the option on here. Our next feature is going to be color palette, and this is one of the coolest ways to go and optimize your new tablet that you got fresh out of the box. And what we're going to go ahead and do is hold on the display. So go ahead and hold on the display right here. And of course, we have something called wallpaper and style. We also have widgets, and we have different settings, but we're going to go ahead and click on wallpaper and style. Now, as you guys can see up here, it says change wallpaper. It says color palette, and it also says dim wallpaper when dark mode is on. What we're going to want to go ahead and do is click color palette. Now, once you're on your color palette option, we can actually go through a bunch of different wallpaper colors right here that they have preloaded on here for you, and they're actually really nice. I do like those. However, I do like the basic colors a lot more. So if you want 100% pink, 100% purple, or blue, or lime green, you guys can go ahead and set that on there. Also, what's even cooler is you can actually apply the palette to app icons. So as you guys can see, all your app icons are going to change the color that you have listed on your color palette right here. So if we go ahead and apply that, let's go ahead and apply that really quick. All of our applications are going to be the color that we choose right here. So I thought that was cool if somebody wanted a more customized look. Next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is set up our ringtone and notification sounds. And yes, I said ringtone and notifications. As you guys know, we have Google Messages down here. And if you have a Samsung phone already, then you can actually go ahead and set up text messages on your tablet coming straight from your phone to this. Also, if somebody wants to call you through Zoom, we don't have Skype anymore, Zoom, and Google Messages, you guys can go ahead and reply from this tablet. So we're going to want to go ahead and change the notifications. So we're going to go into settings, and we're going to scroll down to where it says sound. So click on sound after that. And of course, we have our ringtone and we have our notification sound right here. So for our ringtone, of course, we have Asteroid set up. We have Astro, we have Atomic Bell, Aura, Baby Bear. So go ahead and click what ringtone you guys want. And of course, we can choose our notifications as well. So this is something that I would urge you, if you guys don't have a notification sound or a ringtone yet, whether it's for text messages, phone calls, emails, YouTube video notifications, or other application notifications. This is a very, very useful feature. This is a very, very basic tip, but I thought I'd just add it in here since some of you may be first-time users of a Galaxy tablet. Next thing we're going to be showing you is how to customize your home screen, and that's going to be in our settings again. So we're going to go into settings, and we're going to scroll down on our left side right here and click on home screen. So once we get to home screen, we have a bunch of different options right here. What's really cool is the first one, you can actually choose the size of your home and app screens. As you guys can see, you can also remove labels or add labels for that matter if you guys want labels. But if you guys don't want any letters or words at the bottom of your apps, then you guys can go ahead and turn that off. We can also turn on widget labels if you guys would like to do that as well. So if we turn that on, it's going to show what that widget is. We can also change our home screen layout. So if you want your home screen only, you guys can go ahead and set it up like that. However, if you want an app drawer, you guys can go ahead and keep it. And we also have home screen grid sizes. So if you guys want to change the grid size of your screen to 6x10, we always have the option to do that as well. And there's a bunch of other features that you guys can customize in here. So definitely do some searching throughout those settings right there and customize that to your liking. Now, the final feature that I'm going to be showing you that first-time users should use is for the people that are trying to add a physical keyboard to the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. Now, this is essentially letting you customize your keyboard and your mouse and stuff like that. So to go ahead and use that, go ahead and click Settings. Then we're going to go ahead and scroll down all the way until we get General Management. So once we see General Management, go ahead and click on that. And we have all our options right here. Of course, we have Samsung keyboard settings, and we also have keyboard settings right here, but we have physical keyboard settings if we go ahead and click on this. So go ahead and click on that. And as you guys can see, you can show on-screen keyboards. You can have keyboard shortcuts. You can change the language shortcut, and you can also customize keys for your physical keyboard connected to this Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. And I know a lot of people are going to have a physical keyboard with this. This may be their thing that they use for college or high school or something like that, or even work. So definitely a cool thing to use. You can also go ahead and customize your mouse and trackpad as well, which is really cool. So we can go ahead and change the pointer speed, the wheel scrolling speed. We have our primary mouse button, which of course is going to be left. I don't think anybody's going to end up changing that. And a bunch of other stuff right there, like enhanced pointer precision. Super, super cool. We can also change our pointer size and color. By default, it's going to be black, of course, but if you want it yellow, you can set it right there, and you can even make it bigger if you have trouble seeing. So really cool feature right there for anybody that's going to be utilizing a keyboard or mouse on their Galaxy Tab A11 Plus.